Thank you for subscribing to the channel. It's much appreciated. For those who haven't subscribed yet, only take you a second and it'd be much appreciated. Don't forget, hit the notification bell for more videos and like this video if you would please. And share this channel. That would be a great help too. Now I'm all wrapped up here because it's, well, you know what date it is, but it's freezing here in the UK and it's early in the morning and I'm at home. So yeah, the beauties of working from home. I'm in one of them. Is it an Udi? An Udi or something? It goes all the way to the floor, almost. And yeah, it's quite snug. So what I want to talk to you about today is ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT? Well, it's sort of the sibling from a bigger program, a more commercial program, and you can put questions to it. You can ask it something and it will give you what it thinks is the answers. Now, the problem with it is it's been programmed. Obviously, it's not sentient, or it's not conscious of what it's doing. It's been programmed. It's been told how to react, how to respond by people, certain people. So you can't always get the right answer from it. Now, what are the dangers of that? You know, if you're doing, say, a book where it doesn't really matter if you are wrong, it's not going to hurt anyone. But if they say, for instance, you want to do a medical question, and it gives you an answer, you can't really trust it at this stage. Will you be able to trust it in the future? Yeah, no doubt. I think it'll develop in such a way that it will be hard to distinguish a doctor's answer from what it's giving out from an artificial intelligence answer, and it's quite scary. It's kind of a weird thing. It's impressive for sure, and it's in a beta kind of version at the moment, so it's free to use, and it can get really busy. ChatGPT is just one of many. There'll be a lot. As soon as people realize, or as soon as people get onto the fact that it's a huge money spinner, there'll be all kinds doing it, and it's dangerous in my view. It's great fun, you know. It's a great idea, and it's the way the future's going. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. But you've got to rely on that. Now, when you take an article from the internet, and or a recipe or an instruction for doing some plumbing or whatever else, you can actually you've got more of a reason to believe that if there's a chat at the end of it, for instance, and people are discussing the issue, and you've got professional plumbers, you know, piping up and saying, well, look, you know, you don't do your plumbing like that, or you don't fit your gas pipes like that. But you can see where I'm going with this. Now, I'll just read off what they first say. We've trained a model. We've trained a model. See, this is the issue. You know, if I trained a model, some form of AI to deal with books, say, you're taking how I want it to think, how I want it to react, I should say, how I want it to put in the next words from a series of short words and come up with a whole story. Maybe I'm telling it how to do that, and this is the real issue. You know, we trained a model called ChatGPT, which interacts in a conversational way. The dialogue format makes it possible for ChatGPT to answer follow-up questions, admit its mistakes. Well, I mean, I don't know how that would work. So for instance, if I put in how to play basketball and it makes a mistake, does it automatically answer, oops, I've made a mistake? No, I don't think so. And well, I haven't seen that. So when does it admit its mistakes? Does it have to, could you put it through again? So it's a funny one, isn't it? It will challenge incorrect premises and reject inappropriate requests. Well, that's fair enough. But again, who's deciding what is inappropriate? ChatGPT is a sibling model to Instruct GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction in a prompt and provide a detailed response. Now, let's have a little look at some of the facts. Now, I've just put in a simple question. How much does it cost? Well, during this initial research preview, ChatGPT is free to use. So I'm presuming you can just keep going and going and going. Whereas, for instance, in Canva, their AI Magic Write is limited. So can you use it the same way? Yeah, you can. You can use it exactly the same way as Magic Write. And is it better? Well, I think it's going to be honest with you. I think it's going to be quite good. But, Magic Write and those Magic document tools are integrated into Canva, so it's easier just to access from there. And again, that's in a trial kind of beta version. They're allowing for mistakes, and you can't really do anything about it if someone has been harmed by what you've put down on paper. Now, should you use it for searching for keywords and things like that? Well, yeah, it's harmless. You're not going to hurt anyone. But is it going to give you the right keywords? It might do. But you're best doing that yourself. You're best blaming yourself if you get it wrong. You're better off learning how to do all this stuff yourself before putting it down in your production. But I wouldn't rely. If I was to put in, give me a dozen keywords for this, or give me the right categories for that, or a different category, I wouldn't be able to trust it. I would have to use, and you shouldn't trust it, because it's only in beta anyway, and it's taking no responsibility for the mistakes it's made, and it actually says, it's going to make mistakes, or the likelihood is it's going to make mistakes. ChatGPT is fine-tuned from GPT 3.5, a language model trained to produce text. ChatGPT was optimized for dialogue by using reinforcement learning and human feedback. RLHF, it's actually a thing. A method that uses human demonstrations to guide the model towards desired behavior. Desired behavior. So there's lots of things, lots of words, the way they word things in these things. There's artificial intelligence. We're not going to get away from it. This is the future. Like I say, unfortunately or fortunately, I prefer a little human interaction. But it's going to be hard at some point to distinguish from a real human and a computer, or something online. Why does the AI seem so real and lifelike? Let's see, that's the question that you want to ask anyway, isn't it? These models were trained on vast amounts of data from the internet written by humans, so the responses it provides may sound human-like. It is important to keep in mind that this is a direct result of systems design. Maximizing the similarity between outputs and the data set the models are trained on. And the important bit at the end of that paragraph is such outputs may be inaccurate, untruthful, and otherwise misleading at times. It says ChatGPT is not connected to the internet. It has learned from the internet, they're saying in the previous paragraph, but it's not connected to the internet. And it can occasionally produce incorrect answers. It's a funny one, isn't it? It's pretty vague right there. It has limited knowledge of world and events after 2021, and may also occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content. We'd recommend checking whether responses from the model are accurate or not. If you find an answer is incorrect, please provide that feedback by giving it a thumbs down. But again, see, that's your opinion. You know, you might be right. It's still your opinion going against its opinion, and it's a real muddle. It's scary, isn't it? But it's fun as well. It's fun to use. Because you're going to get some real right answers out of it. You're going to get something. You're going to get a lot of truthful things there. You're going to get a lot of. But if you're going to rely on it for your business or for other people's health or safety, then you can't at this stage. We simply go to the home page, which is openai.com, and we click Try ChatGPT. We're given this page. We're given examples, explain quantum computing in simple terms. Got any creative ideas for a 10-year-old birthday? How do I make an HTTP request in JavaScript? Limitations. May occasionally generate incorrect information, may occasionally produce harmful instructions or biased content. Limited knowledge of the world after 2021. So let's type in how to inject testosterone. Now I've just given you something wild that concerns people's health. And look at this, the way it writes it out. It's really nice. You should consult a healthcare provider. It should be administered by a healthcare provider. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So it's giving you a bit of health and safety there, and that's great. But I want to know where to put it. Where do I inject testosterone? Okay, testosterone can be injected into a muscle or under the skin. The specific injection site will depend on the type of testosterone product being used. Upper outer quadrant of the buttocks. Okay, I can agree with that. I absolutely know that. Your healthcare provider will show you how to properly administer. But what you don't want it to say is, which it could say, and if you don't know anything about it, but if it says in your neck or in your ear or something crazy like that. Now, it's unlikely to say that, but if it does say that, and you don't know anything about it, would you go and stick the needle in your neck? Well, you shouldn't, should you? You know, when you're talking health and safety, you can't rely on this kind of thing. That's my point here. Okay, so let's go with another question. Keywords for a children's book about rabbits. Here are some potential keywords. Bunny, hare, warren, burrow. I mean, there's loads. It's coming down with loads, which is great. You know, so you're not really hurting anyone with a few keywords. I mean, they're sort of in the background anyway. So, you know, you can go through all these. Sometimes it can be really hard to think of something. So sometimes it can be hard to put something together in words. So if you know the answer already and how to, I don't know, change a tap or something, you know the answer, but you don't know how to write it down, you know, for best effect, you use something like this. So if you're creating a book, this would be great. Again, when it comes to plagiarism, I think it will write it down in different ways each time. I don't think it will be exact every time. So I think you'll be quite fine there too, but you'll soon find out. So in my view, can't even move in this thing. I'm warm, but I can't move. In my view, don't rely on it. Use it for fun. Use it for word search books and puzzle books. Use it for fun books, but nothing that relies on people trusting you for their health, for their well-being, for their safety, because you might be in for a bumpy ride there, and you could get sued. You could be into some serious problems. By all means, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it for a little bit of research that I know about, but maybe can't word it correctly. I might know how to, I had 30 years of my own building company. So that, for instance, I could write a book about certain building aspects, and I want to say how to install acros to support a wall, for instance, that I'm about to knock out. So I could find trouble writing about that, I could find maybe how do I put that in? How do I actually put that into my book? I'll ask it, and then I'll look at it and go, well, yeah, it's right, and I like the way it's put it together, and I'll use that in a book. So that's it. That's my view. It's a scary world out there, and it's only going to get better. This is a beta version, and it might stay beta for a very long time because it's safe that way for the company. And as long as it's free, well, who cares? And yeah, that's it.